Everybody, old folks here. It is Monday, November the 7th, and today Aurora was released. I'm going to get into her a little bit, kind of talk about her. She is a support champion. She has the standard skill sets we've all heard about. Let's go over them real quick, and I'll tell you a little bit about her, what I've tested so far, and I've got some other friends that are kind of testing her. Her Dawn Ritual. This is her ultimate. Casts a ray of light that burns enemies. The ray will bounce when it reaches the map's edge, losing some damage with each bounce, and it bounces up to 2 times. When you click on it, obviously, if you've checked out videos before, you'll see that it just kind of runs around the map and does damage. The Solar Flare here casts a ray of sunlight and hits the nearest enemy. It's nice. It looks cool. Boop. Can do a little bit of AE if they're stacked right. This Dancing Ray, basically this casts on the furthest teammate away. Works really good with smoke. Yuan's a little bit less because Yuan takes time to get there, whereas smoke appears there sooner. And so it'll bounce between the teammates 5 times, damaging enemies between each bounce. This works really well with smoke. Again, with Yuan, and it's not so great because it takes him time to get back there. And then finally, the Sun's Blessing. This skill increases the attack speed and lifesteal physical for your teammates within its AoE. Stacks up to 4 times, so basically each one is a 12.4% physical lifesteal, and right now it's 7.5 basically attack speed. Which means that at higher levels you could see some very nice attack speed and some lifesteal. But we're gonna have to, you're looking way down the road. Is this gonna replace a wreck or not replace a wreck? Because obviously Rex comes when he casts his ultimate. This is something that stacks as long as you're in those clumps. But there's issues with that, so we'll get to that. I did a few fights over here in the arena, really just trying to test stuff out, saying, hey, how does this work? I finally got a fight here that I actually got to see what the ult looked like. Sorry, I was on a different server and it changes everything, wipes the cache because it's before this. So, here we are. I'm gonna speed it up, slow it down. It's this typical fight you're gonna see. So here comes the bounce. The bounce runs back. The bounce bounces to here. And like I said, that Yuan moment, it wasted a lot of bounces versus smoke coming right back there. I'm going to hit them. They're going to hit me here in a second. So here comes his ult. Stun. Here comes his ult. Stun. Here comes the laser beam. It's doing damage. But I wouldn't say it's as much damage as compared to other ultimates from other casters. You say, okay, well, let's kind of look at this. She died in all the other ones. Let's go here to the campaign real quick. And this is something I like to do. We'll go to 9. And we will fight. And I want to start. Yeah, I don't really care about you, but I have to have you. Aurora, where are you? Right there. One, you're there. And that should be enough. I'll take a healer just in case. Yeah, I know I can select more. So, when you're doing these fights, part of what we're going to look at is obviously how you cast the ultimate, where it hits, where it bounces. Really trying to get those lineups going in. You're gonna die. That'd be awesome. Alright. So here we go. So I've got this. She casts her AE. Now again, she's casting that light bounce thing. It runs all the way through. Does some damage. Lickety splickety. But had smoke been back there, would have done more damage. And now finally here we are on the last one. And this is really what I care about. So here we go. So when you cast the the ult. Man, this thing gets all funky, but it gives you some bounce parameters as to how it's actually going to line up here. So you can kind of say, you know, how am I going to line this up? Now, thankfully, you get time. Now, obviously, in ladder matches, you ain't got this kind of time. But so I can say, okay, so I'm going to hit 1 there, 2 there, hit him there, but I'm not going to hit him there. Well, here I'm going to get more. You know, so you're trying to figure out, you know, I'm losing percentages, so I'm getting full percentages, you know. So that's really kind of what you're focused on is how is this all going to play out? You know, if I fire directly back, I get 2 full shots basically on everybody almost, but it's also going to be reduced by the time they hit versus the full attack hitting here. So, you know, there we go. We're going to fire out our laser beam, absorbs and kills it. And, you know, so it is one of those things of, I'm exiting this because I don't want to waste the stamina. You know, it's one of those things where maybe on stages in Crystal Dungeon with all the spiders, you know, and stuff like that, it'd be really great because you can kind of lay it out. But man, it's a pain to try and line up the things, and especially in a ladder match, it ain't going to be something you're casting unless you just put it on auto, and then who knows what the AI will do with it. From there, she's not bad. You know, it's just going to take time, and it really is going to be something where we're going to have to see her later levels to see how that lifesteal stacks. I could do this. Let's go here. Let's go team raid. Let's begin this sucker. Let's challenge. Oh, somebody's in it. I'm going to pause this. I will re-pick it up when he's done fighting so that we can see what it looks like with her and that whole lifesteal ability. So give me just a couple guys. Alright, I'm back. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out him, and I'm going to put her in. Again, I'm not really concerned about the lifesteal as much as I'm concerned about the potential for attack speed. So let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and auto that sucker. Speed it up a little bit. Speed. So she's doing damage. He's got hers. Comes the infamous laser beam. I wish there was a way to see the stacks that were on them, but I can't. I'm just going to fast forward, obviously, through this. Joys of fights. Alright. Let's look at the statistics. Wow, that's some low damage. All the damage was dealt basically by Mira. She did decent damage. Damage received obviously tanked pretty much everything. So that's what we see here. I can't tell you the lifestyle. I can't tell you the attack speed. So let's do this. And we're going to challenge it again. I'm going to remove her. And I'm going to put in a lower level guy. Obviously lower power. I'm going to take out him who's doing damage. Let's see how this performs. This could be terrible. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, until later levels, I don't know if I would say she's going to replace Wreck, which is kind of what it's going to have to get into. Obviously, she's stacking her lifesteal. He's stacking lifesteal. She's doing. Wow, that was such a bad ultimate. More stuff. I got an attack speed. Crazy team here. Just don't feel like I'm doing any major damage per se. So our hopes of a physical lifestealer, I just don't know if she can replace Wreck and his ability. Obviously, Wreck doesn't drop a lot of damage. I just don't know. So I mean, it wasn't terribly more. Again, I put in I took out a higher level tank and I put in a damaging guy that does give a burst. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced on her yet. Like I said, it's going to be late levels to really see where she falls in her role into other things. But that's what she does. That's what she looks like. That's how her ult works. Hey, you guys play with her, and you find something you like, let us know. I appreciate it when y'all share. Hope you have a great Monday. Talk to y'all later.